Anxiety. More people have anxiety than you're probably aware of. 10% of kids 3 to 17 have anxiety, and 19.1% of adults have anxiety. You might see someone at school, at work, or even in one year, or even out and about, holding back tears and just staring off into space, and you might just think they're having a bad day. No, that's a start of an anxiety or a panic attack. Today, we're going to talk about what is anxiety and the causes of anxiety and a panic attack and the treatment for anxiety and a panic attack. First, you have a part of your brain called the amygdala. The amygdala is in charge of processing emotions, and you also have a part of your brain called the hippocampus. The hippocampus is responsible for storing traumatizing and threatening events long term. Our brains view anxiety as a life-threatening event. According to Cleveland Clinic, panic attacks reach their peak within minutes. Some of the symptoms of a panic attack are pounding and racing heartbeat, feeling faint, lightheaded, feeling very hot or very cold, nauseous, pain in the chest or abdomen, feeling like you can't breathe, and feeling disconnected from yourself and sweating. Those are just some, not all. People go to the doctor thinking there's something seriously wrong with them. No, it's just anxiety. Many people also have doubts about anxiety, like you're just being dramatic, or you're making it up, or you're just stressed or overwhelmed. Anxiety and a panic attack is a lot more than that. It's by the way it fires up and how quickly it fires up. Now that we have a background of what anxiety is, we're going to go over the causes. According to Mayo Clinic, some of the causes of anxiety or a panic attack are family history, which you have a 40% increased chance of having anxiety or panic attack. Adverse childhood experiences, which are negative experiences that happen between the ages of 1 and 17. Stressful life events like loss of a loved one, large crowds, and even some medication. Those are not all. Those are just some, not all. You probably have the question of what triggers anxiety, and I don't have an exact answer for you. As someone who has struggled with anxiety since 7th grade, I don't know everything that triggers my anxiety. Some of the things that do trigger my anxiety are large crowds, big projects, and the unknown. According to Mayo Clinic, there are also some mental illnesses that cause anxiety, like post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD, social anxiety, and the main one, depression. Those are just some, not all. Now you might be asking yourself, what are treatments for anxiety? Well, according to Cleveland Clinic, there are only 2 ways to treat generalized anxiety. One being psychotherapy, which is a therapist you talk to about your anxiety, and they teach you coping mechanisms on how to cope with your anxiety, and medication. Well, what happens if you don't want to take medication? This would be surprising to a lot of people, but 50% of people with anxiety do not take medication. I'm not one of them, but sometimes I feel like my medicine doesn't work, and my medicine does not take all of my anxiety away. It makes it tolerable, but it also just depends on how anxious I am. Well, you might be asking yourself, what do you do if you don't want to take medicine or you feel like your medicine's not working? Well, I do a breathing exercise called diaphragm breathing. Diaphragm breathing is something you can do sitting or laying down, and you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your abdomen, and you take a deep breath gently in your nose and out your mouth, controlling your breathing, feeling your chest rise and fall. This helps me because it helps me calm down and feel grounded and put my head back in the right mindset. Some of the other things that have helped me and have helped other people are journaling, which helps get out those emotions, because anxiety is a very hard thing if you just keep it in. It also helps release tension. Another thing is limiting caffeine. Yeah, I know, I like caffeine too, but caffeine blocks a chemical in your brain that makes you tired, which at the same time releases adrenaline. Another one is spending time with pets. Research has shown that spending time with pets reduces the stress hormone in your brain, and taking them for a walk also gets you fresh air and regulates your mind. Now, in summary, let's go back to see what we talked about. We talked about the causes of anxiety, or we talked about what anxiety is in a panic attack and how our brain processes it. We talked about the causes of anxiety, and we talked about the treatment of anxiety, well, medicated or unmedicated. The numbers, because of anxiety, the numbers since COVID have increased a significant amount. Now, if you're in public and you see someone holding back tears, or even in one of your classes or at work, now you know it's a panic attack, and maybe you can do something to help them. Thank you.